Introduce my name is Widya Oktafitriani Accounting Class 23A NPM 234120022. In this video I will explain the material about the cost of goods ordered. Order costing is a cost accounting method that accumulates production costs for each different order or job. Its purpose is to calculate the total manufacturing cost and cost per unit for each order, enabling the company to determine the selling price, measure the profitability of the order, and control production costs effectively. Characteristics A. The nature of production is intermittent depending on the orders received. B. The shape of the product depends on the specifications of the customer. C. Production costs are collected on order cost cards, which contain details for each order. D. Total production cost is calculated after the order is completed. E. Production cost per unit is calculated by dividing the total production cost by the total units ordered. F. Cost accumulation generally uses normal costing. G. The finished product is delivered directly to the customer. How to calculate the cost of goods order. The cost of goods ordered COGS per unit is calculated by adding up all direct production costs, raw materials and labor, and factory overhead costs allocated to the order, and then dividing by the number of units ordered. Imagine you receive an order to make a certain number of products. To find out how much it actually costs to make one product in that order, that's called the cost of goods order per unit. Here are the steps. Clearly identify orders. Make sure you know exactly what products are being ordered and in what quantity. 2. Collect direct costs. Direct costs are costs that are directly involved in manufacturing each unit of the ordered product. There are two main types. Direct raw material costs. This is the cost of the main materials used to make the product. For example, if you are making a table, the cost of wood, nails, and paint are direct raw material costs. Direct labor costs. These are the wages or salaries of workers who are directly involved in the manufacturing process of the ordered product. For example, the wages of the carpenter who assembles the table. 3. Allocate factory overhead costs. Factory overhead costs are other costs related to the production process but not directly related to each unit of product. Since indirect overhead costs are related to each unit, you need to allocate a portion of these total overhead costs to each order. The way of allocating can vary depending on the allocation base you use, e.g., based on machine hours, direct labor hours, or direct raw material costs. 4. Calculate the total production cost of the order. Sum up all the costs you have collected and allocated. Total production cost equals direct raw material cost plus direct labor cost plus overhead cost. 5. Calculate the order cost per unit. Finally, divide the total production cost of. To simple example. For example, you receive an order to make 10 chairs. Direct raw material cost. Wood, fabric, foam per chair IDR 50,000 per chair x 10 chairs equals IDR 500,000. Direct labor cost. Artisan wages per chair IDR 30,000 per chair x 10 chairs equals IDR 300,000. Factory overhead costs allocated to this order. 200,000 Indonesian rupiah, for example, based on labor hours. Therefore, total production cost equals 500,000 Indonesian rupiah plus 300,000 Indonesian rupiah plus 200,000 Indonesian rupiah equals 1 million Indonesian rupiah. Cost of goods order per unit equals 1 million Indonesian rupiah / 10 chairs equals 100,000 Indonesian rupiah per chair. So, the cost of goods to make one chair in this order is 100,000 Indonesian rupiah. This information is important to determine the selling price and calculate the profit order by the number of product units ordered. More or less, I apologize. Thank you.